Hi and welcome everyone. This is Nikhil Kapahi, your host, currently doing this alongside my job at Amazon. These are some of the shorter clips from the long format conversation that we have on our channel. I hope you enjoy this.
I did not think anyone else was going to back this because we said a 7-year old made this. You cannot play it. Why would you think it's good? Why would you think this is going to be good? But I think he was a genius in bringing the name taco versus burrito, coming up with that name because people have a lot of opinions about tacos and burritos. And I, the weirdest thing is that he came up with that name and he does not like tacos or burritos. So I do not know why he came up with that name, but it was just like, that's what it's called. He didn't know how to play it. That's what it's called. So I would
So
say
you
that
did not
first
market
bit.
this? You did not market when it went on Kickstarter.
We did.
Uh,
We went on Kickstarter. We didn't have a marketing approach. I approached it as a project for me and him. I am a bit of a I like things to look right. I like things because I came from business, so I wasn't going to just throw it up there and say, "Oh, here, back this kid." So I looked to Exploding Kittens, what they did. I looked to other brands and what they did. So that is a little bit of the hat. And you ask good questions because it was a little bit. Each project was a little bit of a hat. Like I put a hat on, like, okay, if we're going to do a Kickstarter, how do we set this up? Well, let's look at somebody in my category who's done it well, and then let's model after that. So on some level, it was problem solving. Like, I don't know how to do a Kickstarter. They have a lot of money. They probably know how to do it. So let's model after them. They had a section that tells you how the game is played. I'll have a section that tells you how the game is played. They had a section about rewards. I'll have a section about rewards. It's you couldn't tell it's the same. Like we pretty much copied their approach for
right.
a number of things. They had a lot of people, so
No,
they had
I
other
believe
things
that
they.
cloning is just a form of flattery. Like that's my
Yeah,
principle, and I've learned so much just by cloning.
yeah.
I'm like,
Well, and it's not. And at the end of the day, you're cloning the structure, and your
exactly.
content is there, so you can't tell. Oh my gosh, this is exactly the same. It's not like I came up with like exploding kittens. I was modeling after them, and I said exploding burritos or something, and I modeled it exactly the same. The gameplay was the same. That's a totally different world. But we were like, oh, look, they know our box. If you look at our box of our product,
Mhm.
it is exactly the same size as exploding
Yeah.
kittens box because I figured they know better than we do what size a box should be. Like, so we use that as a model, and we're like,
Is that
so
why you enjoyed the interview so much? Was it, I believe it was that Tim Ferriss interview with it, Exploding Kitten. Was it like, was it after a lot later, right? After Tacos Burritos was launched. That was like recent, I imagine.
yeah, that's recent. Yeah. Yeah, they did that recently. And oh my God. Yeah, if anybody's listening and they haven't heard, they're interested in games. That would be an interest. 'Cause I don't know if everybody would love that podcast, but oh my
I
gosh. I think
Yeah.
Tim Ferriss is coming out with a game. And so he asked the most perfect questions about everything that goes into games because it is different, you know? I came from a world where you make a product, you describe the product and what the benefits are, and then people buy that product if they need it, right? You have to convince them the benefits and those things. Games are not like that at all. Like, people are not buying the benefit of a game. They want to be entertained. They're there to watch. It's like what more like, oh, what makes you decide to go to a movie, this movie or that movie? You need something that hits you in a way that you're like, I want to play that. I would like to try that. So it was very different than anything I'd ever done with games.
Yeah.
And I had never really thought about it before. So I guess I did have little times I put on my hat of like problem solving and doing that. But the vast majority of the time for that, from the idea stage to when we started to actually ship into Amazon, which was about a year, um, through the Kickstarter and all that, most of the time I just had the hat on of like, this is my kid. He had an idea. How much fun is this that we're doing this? This is so fun.
Right. I can totally imagine like something that is at a different level that's rewarding. It's
Yeah,
not there is like there's a
100%.
win-win and a win. Like, there's there's
Exactly.
as you said, like if it stopped at Kickstarter, that would have been also fine. Um
Exactly.
no, I'm and thank you for recommending that podcast. Like that was
Oh, good.
so cool.
Isn't it
really,
great?
I think it applies to more than games. I think the
I
way he
agree.
was describing breaking down a business into community building, that
Oh,
really, tripped the wires in my
that
brain. I was like, he's just flipped the whole problem. He's like, it's not about the game,
I
it's
know.
about what you make of it.
I know completely. That Elon Lee is a genius. And he knows about community building. We are not experts in that. And we didn't model that part because it was like, we don't even have the skill set. But the way he thinks, his background is fascinating. And the two of them talking was just, I don't know. I
Impactful.
listened to it like 5 times over a week's period because I was just like, ah, I'm getting so much out of this, and I'm in the space, and everything he's saying is it's almost like he was verbalizing some things that we do that we didn't even realize we do. Like, like, oh, right. Yes, you have to play test a game until you don't want to play another game. If you
Absolutely.
play a game and you
Yeah.
are done and you don't want to play it again, that's not your game because it's too much effort to go to launch a game. You need a game
Yeah.
that's going to be something people pull off the shelf every time. Like you want them to, like if someone comes over and wants to hang out and play a game, that's the game you go to pull off the shelf. And that I attribute 100% to Alex and our process of like play testing. It was more that I needed coffee on Saturdays and Sundays and we had to walk our dog, so we play tested a lot because we had to go. We were both early risers and we needed to go get me coffee. So but I did it without thinking of it, but because of all the play testing we did, we knew it was ready for a Kickstarter when we always took a different game every time we'd go to coffee. We take his game and we take another game.
Hmm.
And when I knew it was ready was we don't want to play that other game. This game's too fun. It's surprising us. Like even though we created it, I mean it's really Alex's creation. He knows gameplay. I don't know anything about this. So that is not my expertise. But it
Yeah.
was just too much fun.
If you enjoyed this short clip, I'm 100% sure you're gonna love the full video. Please go subscribe and click on notification button. These guests you will not find anywhere else on the platform because these are handpicked from my network. I really appreciate you for listening in. Thank you so much.